Okay, well, so great to have you, Alexa.
So great to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm a big fan.
Oh my gosh.
I am just loving all your content and your talent and the challenges. They're so clever and creative, and I'm just really looking forward to talking to you.
Thank you so much. It makes me so happy to hear that. Whenever someone says it, it's like I'm hearing it for the first time. It just fills my soul. So really, thank you.
Well, that's great. And you can just tell you have such a great energy and stuff, and people need that right now. So, well, everyone's sitting at home scrolling through TikTok, and like it just is such a bright light to see. So I love it. So we're excited to have you on here today. So first of all, let me give a little introduction into what we're doing here today. So we have TikTok musical theater star here, Alexa Chalnick. Did I say Chalnick correctly?
Yeah. I think that some people say it a bit farther back in their throat, like Chalnick, but it's a bit more forward, like Chalnick. Like if you could think like I'm from Jersey, Chalnick.
Chalnick.
Yeah,
Chalnick. All right, great. Chalnick. All right, gotcha. So, guys, for all of the creators on here today, so our Monday for Creators live webinar is always for insight into different platforms, how people use their talents and their creations, how they put it out there to the world, and how they can monetize on it so we can all learn from their success. So today we have TikTok star Alexa Chalnick, who has over 900,000 followers on TikTok, 905 as of this morning. And that's like grown really fast too, right?
Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy.
It's so exciting. So we're going to hear all about how you've got all those followers. So her singing, acting, songwriting, inclusive challenges all have really grown a huge following of yours. So we're going to talk about how to take your talents and utilize TikTok and to grow followers and how to really build a career with that platform, especially now, with musical theater, everything's still shut down. Yeah. So we're going to take a look into that. And so hi, Alexa, welcome.
Hi, it's so fantastic to be here.
Yes, well, we really appreciate having you here. And guys, I'm your host, Laura Swan Polina with For Creators. So I'm a journalist, on-camera host, and comedian in my own mind, I guess. No.
Yes.
Yeah. So I love entertainment and theater too. So a little bit more about Alexa, and then I'll let you speak about yourself as well. Super impressive. You're only 20 years old. Sophomore at Ithaca University in New York, studying musical theater, and immensely talented and just awesome and kind too. I love that about your brand, but that's who you are as well. So that's awesome. So already doing amazing things on TikTok. And so we're gonna dive into that. But Alexa, first you introduce yourself as well.
Of course. Well, hello, everyone. Yes, I am Alexa Chalnick. It's so weird for me. I still can't accept any sort of like fame. Whenever someone uses the word famous and me in the same sentence, it's like I do a double take in my own head because it's insane. So much has changed online, but really kind of when I set down my phone, I'm still, at my house, brothers like fighting about who's emptying the dishwasher and stuff like that. But, so I come from a really musical family where, I basically grew up on the bandstand watching my families perform. It was always really important to my mom to also take these talents and help to use them to help other people. So my main performance, I guess, or the main thing that I did performing wise as I grew up was my family and I would perform at a lot of assisted living facilities, maybe like one every 2 months. And it started, we've been doing it for as long as I can remember. There are pictures of my brother when he's maybe 5 years old with just a pot in front of him and 2 sticks, and he uses that to play the drums. And then I, of course, would sing my little songs for all the people in the nursing homes. And so it really made performing a safe and wonderful place because it was all about making other people smile and lifting them up when they were, sad. And so I immediately knew that was what I wanted to do, for my entire life. I looked at my family like they were just heroes for being able to, I just wanted to understand this crazy thing that wasn't anything that you could like see or touch, but that just had such a powerful impact on people. And so I then went on to I went to a high school of the performing arts, and I started studying voice classically at first, and I really fell in love with that. My mom's also a piano teacher. teacher. So that explains how I've been playing piano since I was really little. And I did a lot of pre-college programs for both classical voice and musical theater at Rutgers, Juilliard, Paper Mill Playhouse. And it got to the time where when I was auditioning for colleges, I kind of had that realization that I'd been living in this. Oh, and at the high school I went to was also, I was an acting major. It was a performing arts high school. So I felt like I was already living a conservatory life, going to a performing arts high school. And then of course, after that, having dance and tumbling and acting and piano and all these crazy things. And then also on the weekends doing a pre-college program. And then over the summer, going to a college to then study everything there. So it was just so crazy stressful. And I'm so happy now to finally be at Ithaca College, where it's so funny because everyone assumes that I am a musical theater major, which is funny because I am, but it is like separate. So technically I'm a BMO major, Bachelor of Music, but with an outside field of theater. So I tell everyone like I study music and theater, but then they're like, oh, you study musical theater. And I'm like, I mean, you're not wrong. That is what I do. But technically as a major, that's not what I go to Ithaca for. But here's my dog. Yes, hello.
Aww.
She's
cutie.
I have my bed's the one that's like usually the only bed that's usually made in the house. So that's why
she loves sitting there.
Yeah.
Aww. Well, that's always fun to have a nice pup by you.
It is.
What's her name?
Her name's Lila. In Yiddish, it means night. And she's quite dark. But it's easy to find her in the snow now. Because,
there you go.
She sticks out real nice though.
Very cute.
That's kind of what's a little background on me and what's brought me here today.
Okay, well, that is so great. It's so amazing to have that talent and then have all the support and experience around you too, to really set you up for that success, especially at such a young age too. So like you were saying, it kind of sounds like you already had so much experience going into college.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, great. So love that background about you. So we're really going to talk about your career on TikTok, any other insights and advice you may have to others who want to utilize that. And then maybe just some insights into maybe some obstacles or struggles that you found and how to get over them. So let's just jump right in. And then also, guys, I want to say thank you everyone who's attending here live. So I see you've already mentioned some stuff to Alexa about you're getting it done. Being famous is weird. You are super famous, Alexa. And Alexa, you did tumbling. So for everyone listening, we really do want to encourage you guys to ask Alexa questions. So that's really the utilization of the live platform. So as we're talking about these topics, feel free to write down questions. If they're relevant to what we're talking about, we can, jump in and I can ask them, or if you see them, you can mention them. And then if not, I can put a little marker and we can talk about it later on during the Q&A section. And for all of you guys also on the live webinar, we will be taking this for YouTube and putting it on YouTube as well, so you can share it with your friends. But okay, so let's jump right in then. Okay, so we know about your background as far as honing your talent. So can you tell us a little bit about how you took that talent and put it onto TikTok and why TikTok over other social media platforms?
Definitely. So it's really a funny story and not one that I think most people expect. I had been so tunnel visioned for so long about my life in theater and musical theater, and this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And, as I was training really intensely, I knew basically from freshman year that I loved everything about Ithaca, wanted to go to Ithaca. I just get these gut feelings when I feel like I really, really know like where I'm supposed to be. That's going to be where I grow and I learn. And like, I just have such a great, amazing feeling about Ithaca. And I auditioned for a lot of musical theater schools. I got into a lot of them, but I didn't get into Ithaca's. And so it was a little earth shattering for me. Not that I always expected that, you work hard and obviously it's going to be just, like great, only like amazing things are going to happen. Obviously that's not the case. And sometimes things just happen. And so, now that Ithaca wasn't a viable option anymore, I didn't really know where I wanted to go. And it was all very last minute because, apparently it was that if you were rejected from Ithaca, you would kind of find out right away. But if you were accepted, you're not really going to know until the very end of the year. And I hadn't heard back at all. I'd heard back from other schools, but I hadn't heard back from Ithaca yet. And then at the same time that people were getting their acceptances, I got mine back that said no. So then I had to rethink my entire plan, and it was all really crazy. It was insane. But long story short, I actually wound up committing to Ithaca. It was they had accepted me academically. My grades were like real good with scholarships too, but it wasn't necessarily for musical theater. But I decided to go anyway, and I found this really rare music major that not a lot of people went for. So I super last minute reached out to like head of music. Is this still something I can audition for? I already know that I really want to be at Ithaca. I'm already going to be there. Can I just do I need to wait until like the middle of the year so I can audition for spring? Or is this something that I could do for fall? And so it was insane. They had me send over all my materials. And then the next day we're like, can you hop on the phone for an interview? And then the next day I was committed to Ithaca now for music. So it was so insane. And all of it actually wound up being so stressful. I lost my voice for about a week. I don't really know what it was. But I couldn't talk. I couldn't. It was insane. And then we ended up going on. We always go upstate to the mountains for a vacation. So we did that. And then I basically came home, had a week, packed, went to Ithaca, and my whole brain was just, it was insane. And I ended up, again, I think within the first week, changing majors again to something that was a bit more vocal wise. And so now, okay, I'm a vocal major and still not musical theater, but still okay. I'm primarily in the music school, and I have to now spend a certain amount of time in the practice room practicing voice. But I feel like I can't do that because my voice still isn't back, and I feel like there's something wrong, and I don't know what I'm going to do. It was just like my head was just crises. And it was difficult because I'd always put so much of my identity and my way of processing and expressing who I am. I put so much of that into my voice that I now wasn't able to use my voice anymore. And so what I ended up doing with all that extra time in the practice room was piano and songwriting, actually. And the first TikTok that I made that went viral was just me posting a funny song that I wrote about being in love with my RA. And I think that the thing that made TikTok stick out was its informality, because, as a performer, I was a very big perfectionist. Before TikTok, I didn't have anything of myself performing online because it was, I obviously, if I'm going to post it, I watch it before I post it. And it was just never perfect enough. And that's not always a negative thing. You look and you learn and you watch. That's how I think I've been able to grow so much as a performer, just being able to take criticism and advice and always strive to be better, but it was always, okay, well, next time when I'm performing that song, I'll do that little change, or I'll get that note right and then I'll post it. But the informality of TikTok and the fact that, it didn't need to be perfect, and also just me being in such a low that I really just didn't even care anymore. And it wasn't even me posting my voice. It was just me posting these funny things that I wrote. And the fact that people love them so much, not even just because, my voice sounded great, but just because for my brain and just for the funny tunes that I was able to write and create. And that's really what sparked TikTok. It wasn't even my voice, which is really funny. But I think that was one of the most important life-altering events that could have happened, because without that, there's no way that I would be where I am right now at all.
Yeah. Well, that's such an interesting journey, because the fact that you said the informality made it more of a safe space to just be like, okay, well, I'll throw that on there, and it doesn't have to be something so serious. And I do think that that's a really good point that you make about TikTok, because it's just kind of anything that's kind of fun and light, and you can put it out there. But the amazing growth you've also had on TikTok then as a platform to allow you to grow, especially again during COVID when everyone's at home. So walk us through that then. So now you have your first video on there. You're at Ithaca. Tell us about. So was this 2 years ago?
Yes.
Because you're a sophomore.
Yeah,
well, so
actually,
a year and a half?
Yeah. It was, oh my goodness, that's so insane to think about. The beginning of my freshman year. So yeah, I think a little over a year ago, year and a half ago. It was so insane. And I just remember everyone finding it on TikTok. And the thing is, me and my roommate, we were pretty close with our RA. And so writing the song wasn't from personal experience. It was just a funny song that I thought about. I came up with the chords were originally actually for a different song that I had written, but then I wrote these words. I don't remember where I got the inspiration from it. Like, he's perfect, but he's my RA, because the whole thing's like you can't date the RAs.
Yeah.
And so I thought about that, and then I just took the chords to an old song, and I sang it, and I wrote it down. And we were close with our RA, so I knew that even if he found out, it wouldn't matter, because it wasn't like it was true. So even if you want to think it was true, that's fine. But like for me, I just really didn't care. But it was so funny seeing everyone at the school's reactions. And then the fun thing was, it almost, when I live my life, there's almost just like a little person inside my head, like eating popcorn, like whatever happens to me is fine, but like it's so entertaining. It's like, why would you want to stop it? So I then found out it got put in the RA of, I think, a college group chat, and then of course he ended up having seen it, and then I didn't even know that he saw it until like a month after he supposedly saw it, and it was just so, I don't even know if we really talked about it. He was just like, oh dang, people know who I am, like that's kind of cool. Like,
that's so funny. Yeah.
So like, yeah, that's you now. So it was definitely, people lived for the drama and the fun. For me, it was so fun. It was such a fun time, and it really gave me something to wake up and be excited about, to actually go to the practice rooms and spend time writing music and my songs. So yeah, I continued along that path. I continued posting original songs that I had written. I continued making these musical theater duets. And I believe I'm the first person on TikTok to ever do that. I'd never ever seen anyone else do the like duet a musical theater song with me using the duet factor on TikTok. And I think that's also why I blew up so quickly, because I was the only account that was really doing that. And now it's crazy to see, like, you have professional pianists from like pit orchestras now on TikTok doing that same exact thing. That it's really insane to see. And I know that sometimes putting yourself out online alone can be difficult. So having me there as a sort of like, I don't know, like you're not singing alone anymore is really nice. And I think that especially now with COVID, it's become something that I'm so happy to have a platform that isn't like, I don't know, one of these big chorus platforms where you have to like plug in you singing and it's all complicated. Because I, for a while, had to take one of those chorus classes over Zoom, and it was crazy. But I think that TikTok really allows a lot of freedom with that. And so the challenges have really soared with that as well.
Okay, so tell me about, like, for people who maybe haven't seen it or don't know how to use like the duet feature on TikTok. So tell us just a little bit about that.
Definitely. So basically what it is I could make a video. So let's say right now, Laura's just like not here and it's only me. And I'm like, okay, hey guys, here's like, it's almost like Mad Lib. So here's a challenge. Write in your own lyrics and I'll read my favorite one. Let's see if this works. I have my little mini piano studio over here. So if I were to be like, it's nice out, and then I like leave a space, and then Laura can duet it, and then her screen would be like right next to mine, and she might be like, what is life all about? And so then she would fill in kind of the blank that I've created in my sort of statement there. And they're really fun because I've made them themed. So you have everything from comedy to love to horror to doctor to interview, so they're definitely a lot of fun there. And it gives the other person freedom to be able to write in whatever they want. So even though there's a theme, if I'm a doctor and I'm asking you what's wrong, well, anything could be wrong, right? So you could really make it about anything.
Yeah, no, and I loved the escape challenge one. And the guy's like, I had to go get some Reese's or whatever. That was so funny. And that's another thing that really made you grow so fast too, is it's not just about you, you're including your followers and encouraging them to really kind of be part of this fun, inclusive challenge with you and encourage them to sing too. So tell me a little bit about that too.
Oh gosh. I mean, I say all the time, if you were to only look at my account, it wouldn't make sense, because a lot of it is so reliant on having someone else there to help finish and complete the task. And I think that's also why I've been able to create such a wonderful family over TikTok, is because of how inclusive it all is. We have to work together to make the videos work. And so it's not that it's, it's never just one person, it's everyone together. And it's the fact that I feel like, you know, you go and you see my challenge, or you see someone duetting it, and then you click onto the sound, and now there are 10,000 other versions of it. And so then you go through that whole rabbit hole, and then you get to just see everyone's creativity. And I think that one of the things that I also really like about it is how you really can't be wrong in it. Like, there are no wrong answers. It's anything goes, and people have been able to find such funny and entertaining things with it that I never would have thought would have went so perfectly in the challenge. And it's also insane because I've had a lot of also famous people interact with my content, like Lil Nas or Andy Grammer or Dan Povenmire from Phineas and Ferb, that I think, you know, that would have never happened if it was just, you know, here's my content of me doing this and me doing that. But it's another thing to be like, here's me inviting you to do this, inviting you to do that, not telling you what to do, but just giving you space to be creative. And I think that there aren't really too many platforms like that out there, which, again, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but I think that, you know, after having a lot of thought about it, I think that is probably
toot it, girl. Toot that horn.
So I think that I can probably devote a lot of, that's the word, like credit a lot of my platform to that.
Yes, definitely. I think so. I mean, let's think, you know, people are sitting at home by themselves and are looking for something to, again, you inspire people with like your energy and creativity, but to then for you to say, hey, why don't you take part? Excuse me. I think is such an amazing, you know, platform and way to grow. So that's super, super cool. And then, so real quick, I do still want to talk about TikTok, but so do you find yourself gravitating rather to TikTok over other platforms? Specifically, we talked about Clubhouse last week. Have you looked at any other platforms, or do you really like the way TikTok is set up?
I think I really like the way that TikTok is set up because it's the first I mean, I was never really big into social media, but I think that one of the amazing things about TikTok is that when you put a video out, it could be seen by anyone, not just exclusively the followers that you have. So, you know, if I were to make a post on my Instagram right now, what are the chances of someone who has never heard me before or who I am, of them like seeing one of my, like, it seems to be something like, you know, you have to probably follow the person. Yeah. I mean, I know maybe if one of my pictures like blows up or whatever, which I don't really know, maybe that does happen on Instagram, but I don't really know. I think that, you know, for Instagram, it's really stuff that I post for my followers, people who I know are definitely following me. Whereas for TikTok, you know, I could post a video and it doesn't only get seen by my followers, but it could get seen by anyone. And that's the really exciting thing about it, is that, you know, now, I mean, I could post the same video Instagram and TikTok, but TikTok is where it really has the potential to, when it does go viral, get seen by so many amazing people. I don't think that if I would have posted those videos on Instagram that Lil Nas would have seen it. Like, why would he have seen it? You know what I'm talking about? But with TikTok, there's a much higher chance that it can get seen by anyone. And that's the really exciting thing. And I know that we are going to talk a little bit later too about kind of musical theater, but I think it works well here too, is that, you know, people usually needed like a manager or an agent or, you know, other people to help them get their art in front of these big names, whereas TikTok almost kind of like, especially for the music and theater business, acts as almost that agent where, you know, if you're a performing arts high-end agent and you just log on to TikTok and the algorithm figures, okay, great, you like theater content, they're going to be giving you theater content probably from people that you never ever would have seen in your life if not for TikTok. And I think that's also one of the reasons why it's so great for young, smaller creators who are looking to expand and branch out, and why they're getting all these amazing opportunities, because they're just getting this space where they're able to post and have the potential of it going viral and get seen by a lot of people.
Yes, that is amazing. And you're so true to your brand too with musical theater, and the spotlight that we wrote about you on forcreators.com. It really talks about how you're true to your brand with musical theater. And I do like though how you were saying like you kind of incorporate like murder mystery and comedy, but you're still so you. So do you want to talk about that too? Just like being true to your brand on TikTok too?
Yeah, definitely. So I guess in terms of being true to my brand, I love music so much, but the thing that I've always really connected to is the way that music can tell a story. I consider myself a musical storyteller. I don't know if I could ever write for pop. I mean, there are a couple poppy things that I sort of wrote that I just call pop because they're like sort of repetitive and it like has a certain groove to it. But for the most part, whenever I write, it's about capturing a moment, a feeling, something that I'm just trying to like capture in like a bubble of time. And so, with my songwriting challenges, they're pop. Well, they're not pop. They're fun to do and they have grooves, but it is still about telling a story. And so with I have had a couple videos where I just play chords and I say, do whatever you want with it. Just like make up whatever you want. And so people do. But I think that the fun thing about my songwriting challenges is that they help to tell a specific story. And for me, to me, music it kind of like it's describing feelings without words, really. There's some sort of quote and it's like music is what feelings sound like. And so I feel like being able to take that and put it into a specific moment where I then leave open-ended. I still do consider my songwriting challenges musical theater because it's still a story, and I feel like it's so much fun to be able to put on a mini production with someone else. Like when I get ready to make one of these TikToks, it is a full-scale production. We got hair, we got makeup, we have like almost a set. I got to make sure the lighting's right for each one. There's usually props that I take from other people. The doctor edition, we had to call our friend who was like a pediatrician, ask him if we could borrow his skeleton and lab coat. So there's a lot that goes into it, not to mention just writing the actual pieces. It's a lot harder than you'd think to write something that's as open-ended as possible, but like also for a theme, And so then I make and I compose all of them. It used to be where I was playing piano along with them, but now that I've gotten really into sound recording technology, I'm able to free up my hands a little bit and actually be able to create these really cool, elaborate, in-depth things where now you get the like siren for the escape edition or the kind of elevator music that we get in the doctor edition one. And so that's really neat too. And so I think that as far as my brand goes, I think as long as it's along the lines of, telling a story, be it for a distraction or to talk about something important or, maybe even just for entertainment purposes, that it just has the capability to just like to fill human soul and spirit. And that's what I really love about them.
Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, so I do have some slides, and I also want to talk to you about this thing for Alexa Saturday. So let's just pull up some of these slides, and we can talk a little bit about, okay, so there you are looking so fun. Okay, and then, so here are a little bit of your challenges. And so those are the duets that we were talking about where it's two people side by side. Yeah. But then, and then you pick your favorite ones and you kind of like have your reactions to them, right?
Yeah.
So fun. Okay. And then, so tell me about this Sing for Alexa Saturday.
Sing for Alexa Saturday was an idea that birthed while I was on live one day, and this Broadway performer joined my live and I was freaking out about it. And he was saying how he loved my work and we should try to, maybe partner together on a TikTok or something, blah, 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 blah. And then of course I said, oh my goodness, of course. And then, to connect with my followers, sometimes what I'll do is when I'm live, I just do random Zooms. I'm like, you know what? I'm really sick of just talking to myself. Let's like meet. I'd love to meet some of you guys and like
I love
talk to actual other human beings. And so we'll go on Zoom. So I think everyone started being like, Zoom, let's Zoom, get him on the Zoom. And so he said like, maybe, well, not tonight, but I'd love to do maybe a Zoom in the future. And then there were other people commenting like, can I sing for you guys? And then he was like, oh my gosh, wait, that'd be so, I forget whose idea it was, but basically from there we were like, wait, that'd be so fun if we did some sort of a masterclass. And that's how the first one happened.
I love that. Yeah.
It wasn't even called Sing for Alexa Saturday, but it was just a fun masterclass. And I posted about it. We had our 3 singers and we did the classes before I even started recording them at all. But after that, another Broadway performer who turns that was following me then messaged me and said, hey, I don't know if this is like something you're doing, but I'd love to be a guest. And it actually worked out really well because, you know, you had all these actors and these, you know, Broadway stars who were out of work and just looking for anything to find students and work. And, you know, and of course, my whole brand is about, you know, making things accessible to people in any way that I can and helping them learn and to just have fun and create. And so from there, I reached out to Broadway people reached out to me, and I say Broadway people, but it's basically just anyone in the arts. We've had Larry Saperstein from High School Musical, the series come on, and Dan Povenmire, voice of Dr. Doof, and so some really crazy big names on, but it really all started from that one simple idea that now it's amazing how we're able to, you know, put on these classes for so many people and have it be completely free and accessible.
Yeah, that's amazing though with that you're giving Broadway stars platforms. Isn't that amazing?
Never in my life would I have thought that would happen, but it's definitely amazing because I think at this point, if I like when Broadway goes back on, any show I see, I'm thinking I probably know someone in the cast, which is exciting. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, definitely. And then we'll move on to, you know, how other people can start to build their singing career. Because I think, you know, that's a good segue, especially to give them that platform, Sing for Alexa Saturday, to then talk about how other people might be able to do that. But we are speaking about Broadway. Is that where you see your future going?
It is, you know, it is and it isn't. I'd love to have kind of a Lin-Manuel Miranda moment. The goal has always been to write and star in my own musical. And I'd love for it to get to Broadway. But then I'd love to act in movies, like how Lin was just in Mary Poppins, like that happened. I'd love to do that. And I'd love to write for Disney. Lin did that. So that's kind of the path that I'm along. I absolutely love just storytelling with music. And so in any way, shape, or form that I could do that, there's not necessarily a set plan. For a long time, it was tunnel vision to Broadway, but especially with the internet, you know, and just learning how many other opportunities are out there. I don't know if 8 shows a week is really my full calling. I mean, maybe for a while, definitely. But, you know, part of being an artist is like kind of getting away and just, you know, taking a deep breath and just really being inspired. So I think maybe for a bit, but it's definitely not like the end all be all what I do for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Well, you know, you've really created the platform of TikTok to become a career too, which, you know, even 2 years ago wouldn't necessarily have been like, okay, I want to be a TikTok star. And then here you are. So let's talk a little bit about that then, as far as like advice to other people who are creatives, maybe singing, maybe acting, or even like you said, storytelling. So what advice would you have to other people who, you know, are kind of looking for an outlet to build their career on right now, since other things shut down still?
Definitely. So the number one piece of advice that I would give anyone is that if you wait until you feel like you're ready, it's never going to wind up happening because you're never going to feel ready. We've had even Broadway stars on Sing for Alexa Saturday who have done full show runs, and after that go on an audition and still don't even feel like they're ready. It being this idea of ready, it's something that is more of just mental and within yourself. It's not when you feel like you're at your absolute, you know, best and you're never going to get any better, because as you grow, you learn. And so of course you're going to continue to get better. People, especially on TikTok, are not looking for any sort of perfection finished product. If anything, people right now really love to see the journey. They love to see people's journeys, even just me, you know, talking about my own mental health or going through college or, you know, all these crazy things. But me, you know, I was always waiting for the perfect moment, or it was always going to be, you know, tomorrow, or where my voice is a little bit more ready, or, you know, all these different things. And it wasn't even until I thought that I couldn't sing anymore and had nothing more to lose that I just posted it to TikTok for fun. And that, of course, ended up, it was like the funniest thing ever. I have all this training, and then I waited until I decide to throw it all out the window and finally post myself. And even that, people just liked it. So I would say, whether it's a good singing day, a bad singing day, being professional isn't about being 100% all the time. It's about doing the thing and getting it done, even when you feel less than 100%. So that is my number one piece of advice. No matter what you're doing, whether you love cooking or drawing or making beaded necklaces or whatever, just say to yourself, okay, I'm going to start off, I'm just going to make a deal with myself 3 times a week. I'm just going to make 3 1-minute videos and post them every week. And that's going to be my goal. Great. Do it. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter if you think it's good or bad, just do it. Because the more you do it, the more practice you're going to have at it. And even for songwriting, that's like the number one piece of advice that my college professor, and just, I don't know if you know, like, I'm sure everyone knows, like, the Bridgerton musical, Abigail Barlow. I'm so obsessed. So even just in sort of watching some of her interviews, she's also said, if you're writing songs, just write a new song every day. Doesn't matter, good, bad, whatever. Most of them will probably be junk, but you'll have those couple that are really good. And just with practice, you'll get more used to being in that kind of more, not even like vulnerable headspace, but you'll be more in the headspace to just try and not judge yourself so much, you know? And that's really the key thing about it. So that's my little spiel here for anyone looking to expand their platforms or really just kind of get out there. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start. Just do it now. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Just do
it. No, I think that's such important advice. So many people, you know, I know even myself as a comedian, you get in your head and you think, well, this isn't good enough. I can't put it out there. But, you know, it's kind of like that age old saying, if you want to be a writer, then write. Like, you just got to do it. And like you said, don't judge yourself if not everything's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since that's like your talent that's inside you. And you're just like, okay, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm just going to put it out there. And then everyone's like, no, that was so awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So I love that advice, and not judging yourself. So then as far as what makes a good TikToker, is there like a rhythm or a strategy? You mentioned consistency, and, you know, that's what we hear in all these platforms in general, as far as creating, just like the consistency of putting out there. What other kind of like strategies do you have?
To be completely honest, I am not quite, I would not, like I said, even when I tell, like, even just when people say you're a TikToker, in my head, I'm like, what? Like, I just make videos for fun.
Yeah.
But, I definitely see, and I say consistency for myself, but even then, like, you know, when last semester, when I was college was really tough to do virtually and online, I took a big break from TikTok, and then I pretty much just came back, posted a couple songwriting challenges, and there it was, and it blew up again, and then I had 300,000 more followers. So
wow.
It was very random, but I think that positivity is definitely something that anyone would gravitate to online, especially because I think there's a big stigma about it being so kind of dark, that any positive place that you can put out there, I think people will really gravitate to, which is just some feedback that I've heard from my own channel, as well as, yes, consistency. Now that I'm taking a leave of absence from college. I'm taking this semester off because it's still half online, half not. And I just did not do very good with the online at all last year. And so I decided, you know what, let's just take this time, throw myself into social media, throw myself into the podcast musical I'm writing, should get released in summer.
Awesome.
And then I'll go back when I'm like fully organized and I got a plan and I have it more down. So now for this week, I've definitely been doing, you know, a certain amount of videos every day. I have days set aside for, okay, makeup and filming and things like that in that sense. But I guess in what makes a good TikToker, I'm not sure. I guess that's kind of up to the own person's opinions, I guess, or what they feel like a good TikToker is. I mean, I follow, I think his name's Spencer, but I think the username's like Spensois, where all he does is he has daily screams and he just screams into the camera every day about things that he's pissed about or crazy things that happen. And I find that hilarious.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely up to the person, but I do think that, you know, being as personable as possible doesn't not help. Yeah, I know. I'm not too helpful in this category, but I think it's just, you know, personal opinion about what would make a good TikToker.
Yeah.
And also be nice to everyone. That's something I've always lived by. I've always lived by, like, if you're saying something that you wouldn't want for the person you're talking about to hear, then just don't say it. And so I also know, like, there's sometimes like petty stuff that goes on online that I do know that to be a good TikToker, to be someone that you don't want wrapped up in that, just be nice to everyone. It's like so easy. That's definitely something I'd recommend.
Be nice so be genuine, be authentic, positive, and nice. Love that. Definitely people want to gravitate towards that. So that's good. I feel like when I checked out TikTok, people have other little tricks like of when to post or to put some like audio in it and turn it down. Do you do any of that, or did you really just grow by being genuinely yourself?
I just grew by being genuinely myself. I see a lot of those videos too, where it's like, here's how you grow your platform, post on these days at these times with these audios or blah, blah, blah. And I just don't have time for that.
Sure. Well, no, that's awesome to know that like you can just actually show up and be you and not have to do all the tricks or algorithm hacks.
Exactly. You don't have to use algorithm hacks at all to grow a platform. I have never used one. I've maybe done one trend in my entire TikTok career, one trend only, and that was it. I've thought about doing more sometimes, but I'm also just not really on TikTok enough. Usually when I do catch them, they're like kind of old, and so I think they're funny, but you know.
Yeah. but I do think what you did with the challenges and the duets and encouraging others to participate and really shine their light too is an amazing, not algorithm hack, but it's a way you really grew because people gravitate towards that. And like you said, you were one of the first people to do it too.
Yeah. And actually that's probably another thing, you know, when you're now inviting other people to take part in your video, it almost has like a tree branch effect. There's like my video, but then there are like 10,000 other people who duet my video, and then God knows how many people see those videos that then decide to duet the video. And so it's crazy to know that when I put out a video, it's not only just going to get seen on my platform, but like, look, Lil Nas duetted it, and then look at how many people saw that duet. And so now that's just more people who know me and who I am, you know? So I also think that I can definitely credit that for the amount of publicity I've gotten, because it's not just publicity from my channel, but it invites my videos to also get posted to other channels, some of which are quite big, and then their whole audiences see me and my channel. So I definitely think, you know, not that that's like a cheat code or anything, but I definitely think creating some sort of interactive video or stitched video or anything like that, those tend to do really well, or at least I see them a ton, where it's like one of the same videos and then just a ton of different people kind of reacting to that video.
Okay, love that. Now, Jan here asked, is there specific content which works better than others?
Oh gosh. I mean, for my channel, songwriting challenges just are like, they just always work. People really like them. They're kind of, I guess, almost sort of my niche. I wouldn't say that like those get more popular. I don't know. All of the content works. I guess in terms of views, those are my most viewed videos because again, they invite that other interaction. There are just a lot of people. Obviously, if you are writing in your own lyrics, you know, you're going to watch the video a bunch of times just to like, have ideas, pause, play, pause, play. So then it's just a ton of people watching it over and over again. I post a lot of my original songs that I've written. Do those get as many views? If they're next to a songwriting challenge that is going viral, people will tend to click it, but I guess maybe not as many, but I mean, they still work. I mean, they still get seen by like, you know, Dan Povenmire, Lil Nas X, the people who follow me. So they're definitely, I'd say, working. I don't really have a specific answer for that question. I think it's more just about having fun on the platform rather than like specific things that I can do that I know will get views. Well, which is obviously like important, but I think I found that already. I think songwriting challenges is really kind of that, like my niche, my thing. Yeah, definitely. Love that. Now, obviously you're still in college. Are you monetizing from TikTok? And do you have any tips for people who are looking to do that as well? I am monetizing from TikTok, and I thought it would bring my views down. For me, it hasn't. I know I've heard from a lot of other people that like, oh my God, I had to get off the creator fund because it was like making my videos not be good. Maybe it's just because I really won the lottery with doing these songs. I don't know, but it's definitely crazy. It's strange. It's very, very on and off sometimes. It's sometimes when I feel like, oh my gosh, this video is blowing up, like it got 1 million views in one day. It's not really like a lot of money that necessarily comes from that. I started a YouTube channel and I've posted maybe 3 videos on YouTube. And I think I've already maybe earned more just from YouTube than TikTok, really. They are paying their creators. Do I feel like, oh, I don't want TikTok to see this and be like, oh, really? Okay, let's see how you like this now. But I mean, it's definitely cool. I can completely see how, you know, creators like Charli D'Amelio or who get like millions and millions and millions, maybe billions of views, can definitely rack up a lot of money. I consider myself a pretty big creator, and I maybe make like like $10 a day, which is still like cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely cool. But like, is it something that I'm gonna quit a part-time job for? No. You know?
Yeah. Well, so TikTok, if you just get to a certain amount of views, do they start paying you? Is that how it works? Or
I believe,
is that a secret that TikTok's
sure.
going to be mad about?
I don't think so. I really should know more of. I really don't know as much about TikTok as I should for being a TikTok star. I think it has to do with views, but again, I'm not quite sure because some days, like, oh my God, my Doctor Edition got 4 million views and it's like $12.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay.
Interesting. Well, but it's not necessarily like Instagram where you like team up with a brand and then you talk about it or, you know, post something with it. It's more just like the views, like how YouTube was like at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. So there aren't any ads. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. So I think that for TikTok, it is only views, whereas for YouTube, it's because, you know, you put ads on your videos. There aren't any ads on my videos. So that does make sense. I think it's just how many, you know, people my particular page is attracting, how many views it's getting. Whereas with YouTube, it's the specific ads. But also there's some work that you can just get from, you know, people contacting my business email, like, hey, love your TikTok account. I have a company for water bottles. Like, if I, you know, send you some of my water bottles, can you make a TikTok about it? So like things that I can do where technically it's still, you know, making money from TikTok, but it's not TikTok writing the check. It's other companies reaching out to me so that I will then use my platform on TikTok. But even then I try to stick to things that I know or have used before, because if I haven't, I just am like, well,
you're right. You're like, I don't know how to write a song about this.
Yeah.
Well, but I think it's also awesome, you know, for somebody who's building a career in entertainment or songwriting or whatever you may be looking into. It's like you said, just the platform of being seen, where so many times before it was much more difficult to break into.
Definitely. Yeah.
So that would be good. Okay. So we talked a little bit about, like getting onto TikTok. And so now we wanted to talk maybe a little bit about like hurdles of that stardom. Like you said, staying positive. You talked a little bit about balancing your time and really prioritizing that over like having to do a certain algorithm rather, but maybe talk a little bit more about maybe the pressures of being at such a young age in college, balancing all of this, being on a platform where people can say whatever they really want to there. So let's talk just a little bit about that and give us some insight.
Yeah, so it is definitely crazier than I ever could have imagined. It's one of those things where you're almost like, all my problems will be solved if I just like, I don't know, get rich and famous one day. I mean, still working on both those things currently, but it's crazy because it's a lot. Actually, it's a lot more frightening than I could have predicted. And again, I'm definitely one of the smaller creators, but it really hit me one day because I'd get so much kind of anxiety over it and I couldn't really pinpoint what it was. But what I really realized that it was is that, you know, there are almost 1 million people out there who know my face, know my name, know kind of generally where I'm located, my age, a lot about me, some like personal stuff I've decided to share with them. And I don't know what they look like. I don't know where they are. I don't know how old they are. I don't know what genders they are, if gendered. I don't know anything about them. So I'm kind of happy to be in my house here in Corona, because the first time I need to go out anywhere, you know, where I'm in a group of people, I don't know. It's like, okay, do they know? It's
That's a weird feeling.
It's a really, really weird feeling. And also, you know, as a performer, it's one of those things where it's, you know, being trained as a performer, there's things that you do to perform. Okay, you put on makeup, you warm up, you do all these things, and okay, wow, you look out, oh my God, it's a big audience. We have like 500 people like here in the audience tonight. Oh my God, okay, let it be perfect. Let my voice not crack. Let it all be good. Now I need to make a video where it can get seen by 1 million. That's like, to me,
that's crazy.
A video that I know is just going to be screens like at the Super Bowl or something.
Yeah.
And so you know, that mindset that I once had of just like, you know, putting up a video and it doesn't have to be perfect, it's whatever, and just like putting it out there has definitely changed. There's a lot more of, you know, I do takes a lot. I will do takes until I feel like it is completely, until I'm like blue in the face. Because it's crazy, you know, as a performer, with every post that I make, it's not just a post, it's like a mini performance within itself.
Sure.
And so there's a lot of work that goes into it, which I think people really do see. I don't think it goes unnoticed just because of how much time I put into them and how I just perfect everything about it. But it's difficult, and sometimes it even has kept me from posting. There are a lot of times when I've set up and I've like for 2 hours just tried to film or do something, but I look back and I'm not happy with it, and sometimes I just don't end up posting, which is so bad. I used to do that a lot. I'm getting out of it now because I was started to fall back into that mindset of you know, just if it's not perfect, then I can't post it.
Yeah.
But the whole reason that I can even like, be proud of being on this app is because I posted even when I knew that I wasn't perfect, and it's fine. And at the end of the day, it's like people really don't even care for the most part what my voice sounds like, because it's about more than that now. We're telling a story, we're working together, we're creating art. It's not just about like, hear my voice. It's like, I'm not asking for your judgment. I'm asking for your creativity and your like additional, I don't know, like creativeness.
Yeah.
So, and people really tend to kind of focus on that. And, you know, even though they're definitely not videos of like satire, but it's still like, they should be fun to do. Like, even when I'm serious, it's kind of like, okay, like we're being like, it's, you know, it's nothing meant to be taken too seriously, but that's a huge thing that was definitely keeping me from posting for a while, just because of how intimidating it was. I was genuinely like, I knew that it wasn't going to be perfect, and so for it to be in front of such a big audience, it was really scary to me. Getting over it now, but yeah, that was a big thing. And then also, of course, just making sure that everyone stays nice. I mean, is that ever going to happen? No, not really. I've definitely encountered it on my account. I am Jewish. I have my little like humsa right here, and so I have gotten my fair deal of anti-Semitism.
Oh my goodness.
But I think that one of the amazing things is the amount of people that I've been able to educate as a result of it, because, you know, even when someone had decided to say something anti-Semitic, and so then I replied to that comment, made a video about it, and then the amount of people in the comments who didn't even know what they were talking about or what they were even referencing, or like what a particular symbol meant, that it was so amazing, because, you know, it's so easy to kind of feel alone, but there were people that just like maybe 10 accounts that I just saw like popping up constantly throughout the next couple days, who spent so much time in that comment section educating people, sending them links to things, and, you know, so many people who just genuinely did not know about certain events that ever happened. And so it was amazing, you know, even though every time you open up a certain space, there's going to be room for criticism, but it's also, there's a lot of, I guess the word that I'm looking for is like beauty, you know, like taking ashes and like growing flowers. And, you know, there were a lot of people who were able to get informed and educated about these really important things. And one of the amazing things is I'd even made a video saying like, guys, this isn't just my channel. Like, this stuff, I promise you, if you go to the hashtag of TikTok and just look up Jewish in the comments of these videos, you will like 100% without a doubt find. And it was crazy how like maybe a week after, I just, I don't know, just to see, like, did the hashtag and was scrolling through, and it was insane how all the ones that I had seen were deleted, and the only comments I really could find were people being like, who else is here looking for like anti-Semitic comments to delete? And it was insane.
That's really interesting.
I had told them like, I appreciate so much how you guys are fighting for me, and I can only hope that you do the same for these smaller creators who don't have the backup that like you got, like who don't have, you know, other people to help them with these mean people. And so that was such an amazing feeling to see all these, you know, smaller Jewish creators now like have people backing them up too. So it was really nice.
Well, that's amazing that you can take such a negative thing and educate and, you know, shed light on it and turn it into a positive to say, hey, that's why this isn't good, and you got to learn from this. So that's amazing. That takes a lot of strength, I think, for you. So, and like you said, though, to have a community of people who would also back you up is pretty amazing too. Michaela here said, I spent hours helping her delete them.
Yeah.
That's a good community right there. So,
and have I ever been noticed in public yet?
Yes.
I have not. Michaela also asked that.
Yes.
Like I said, I've pretty much just been in my house.
Well, people will be asking for selfies, I'm sure. It's the new autograph.
Oh, dang, maybe.
I just showed my age there in asking people for autographs.
No, I love autographs. I mean, mean,
Right.
I would get both. I mean, I'm also just like a stage door kid, so it's all about like, can you sign? You know, I have my Sharpie.
Playbill. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So people still do autographs. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, are there any other questions out there, guys, for everybody listening? And then also, Alexa, is there anything else you kind of want to touch on as far as for anybody else out there, as far if it's TikTok or encouraging people to just put the content out there, or anything else you want to say before we wrap up here?
A little, I guess, quote that I live by is that if fear is the only thing keeping you from doing something, then do it. Because there have been a lot of times when I've been on the fence about something, and then I really have to ask myself, is the only reason I wouldn't do this because I'm scared? And obviously I'm not talking about like jumping off, like, I don't know, like, you know, like doing something crazy or anything, but, you know, something out of like emotional fear. And, you know, it's that sort of jump and that leap of faith that I think has helped me in a lot of situations. So that's something that I'll leave you guys to think about. You know, if this is something that you think you might love or want to pursue, then do it and pursue it, and try to get rid of that judgmental voice in your head. It's hard and it's difficult, but you can definitely do it.
Yes, I love that. That is so great. And then tell us a little bit about what projects you're working on. They all want your autograph too. So if you saw that in the chat, I do too. So tell us about the projects that you are working on with this, and how somebody else had asked about how the break was going. And you mentioned a podcast. So
yes,
you know, promote what you're working on here before we wrap up too.
Gotcha. So, oh my gosh, I am loving this break. It's giving me so much creative freedom to just be able to write and create and post and make all these incredible things. I think it was a well-needed break because I was definitely hitting a wall as far as trying to juggle my social media with my school and my schoolwork. And it just, I felt like there was no foundation built. There was no, like, I just didn't have a ground to stand on. And I think one of them would have had to fall. And so I think that being that school really just wasn't, I just wanted, you know, it just wasn't working online anyway. And I really wanted to wait until it was safe to go back anyway, that it's really allowed me to just, great, okay, I'm waking up at this hour, and then I do my vocal exercises and piano here, and then I do this, and then like Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays are for filming and editing. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't go on my phone. I like chill, and it's really allowed me, you know, a nice foundation to be able to, I think that then when I go back to school, I'll already have, you know, these things set in place that it won't be so drastic to now add on. So it's definitely been really amazing. As far as the podcast musical I'm working on, so Morgan Smith, the creator of this Averno universe, found me and my writing through TikTok, reached out to me about joining their team of composers, and I am now the head of composition as well as music director for this Averno universe. It's basically a transmedia universe where multiple stories happen in forms of all different medias. So TV shows, books, podcasts, poems, art. And it's amazing because it's a world that's kind of like constantly changing as new people. They have this huge Discord. As new people join the Discord, it's like a world that's alive and breathing and changes every time someone else contributes stuff to it. So it's really amazing. And they're finally getting noticed by all these really big names. They've already had 2 musicals now produced with Broadway records, and mine might be a third. We don't really know yet. But yeah, we came up with the idea of, we knew we wanted for it to be something musical, and with theaters shut down, we thought about doing a podcast musical. And so that is currently what I am working on now. Story of a young girl who goes to this town of Averno, and all sorts of crazy stuff happens. And it's so much fun to write. It has all of my original songs in it. So many. And it sounds weird to say, but I am starring in it, which is crazy. You hear my voice and only my voice for the entire podcast.
Wow.
She's the whole thing's journal entries. So she's kind of documenting her time, talking about her day. And so the whole thing's going to be orchestrated, and we're just really excited.
So it's all you. It's all you.
All me. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I love that.
Insane. It's definitely incredible. I'm very comfortable at writing for specific moments, but when it comes to how to connect each song, I'm so happy that I have Morgan who's writing the book. So writing everything that I say in between each song. And yeah, I'm so excited for it.
That's cool.
And it should be out sometime in summer. We have some big names that we're in the works about seeing about like partnering. So we'll see about that, but should be sometime this summer.
Oh, I love that. All right. Well, I'm so excited to see that too. How cool. Okay. So do you want to give a chance tell people where they can find you as well on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube?
Yeah, of course. So if you would like to continue to follow me, my it's just my name, Alexa Chalnick, on every platform. So without any dots or underline or without anything, it's literally just at Alexa Chalnick for YouTube. For Twitter, though, I don't really actually Twitter might be the letter A, Chalnick, and then the letter A again. I'm not but I don't really use Twitter. For my YouTube and TikTok, it's also just Alexa Chalnick, Instagram, Alexa Chalnick, if you'd like to follow along. And thank you so much, Laura, and everyone on your team for having me here today and writing such a wonderful article. Everyone in my family was sharing it around. Like, did you read what they wrote about Alexa? And so that was a really lovely article that you guys wrote. Thank you for all the incredible work that you're doing and for having me here today.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and giving us such insight and just, creating what you do. It's really cool, amazing. You're so talented. And again, just to have that platform for so many people to also interact with is awesome. So I'm so glad I got the chance to chat with you further. And everybody watching this, you can also go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to watch it again. Next week, we'll have some insights into podcasting. So be sure to join us with that. And you guys can follow me at Lou, LOUPOPO 999. So, all right. Well, thank you again, Alexa. Thank you, everybody who joined us, and have a great week and keep on creating.
Thank you. Bye,
all right.
everyone.
Bye. Thanks.